Yes, indeed. We are back for another great episode on the one and only The Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy. I am Jay York Football. Alongside of me, as always, Mike Dub Sports One. And man, the AFC North is wide open. The Steelers are 4-1. And it's the battle of the Unks on Thursday Night Football. Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. What's going on?
Man, I'm not sure if there's ever been a game with two quarterbacks with a higher combined age. Not sure if I saw that yet. I don't know if Brady played Rodgers in his last year or Flacco. That maybe would have taken the lead. But yeah, it's the Unks, it's the Grandpaps, whatever you want to call them, man. If I told you last year that the Steelers would play the Bengals and it would be Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers, your brain would have probably exploded. But yeah, man, it's all good vibes right now. Steelers 4-1, and this could be a death sentence for Cincinnati if they go to 2-5. But it's a sneaky little game, and we'll get to that, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the people, viewers, we teamed up with DraftKings this season. Tell us how they can make themselves some money. And it doesn't have to be Steelers. It could be on any team, any NFL team or any sport. Nice parlay. Why don't you tell them how they can put some money in their pocket with our code?
Yeah, I mean, somehow in the absolute blink of an eye, it's week 7. Like, where did that feel like the season just started? But once more, I know you've already been winning some cash. Every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. It's not just football, as we say every week. It is the first touchdown fireworks. It is anytime touchdowns, live betting throughout every game on DraftKings. Quite literally, every play is your next shot to win. Right now, the Steelers 5.5-point favorite in Cincinnati. I actually thought that would be lower. Given the fact it's a road game on a short week. So that's pretty significant, I think. So that's an interesting one. I think could be a, potentially favored the black and gold, although I don't want to lose anybody money out there. But it's important to mention as well, if you're a new customer and you use our code 6sports, you bet just $5 and you get 300 in bonus bets. Also, NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. And YouTube, get some money off of that as well. So that's just an incredible deal. Your season starts now. Download the app. Use our code. You see it right there. 6sports.
6sports.
That's instantly when you place your first bet of 5 or more. $200 off YouTube TV and Sunday Ticket. Oh, you're saving $500 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you have it, Shane. Let's get to it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Aaron Smith shields. Flacco Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I'm really not used to it. It's been a while since we haven't had our guests. You guys are just stuck with us two knuckleheads today, but it's kind of good because we could kind of give our assessment on the season so far. I'll start off just real quick, just touch on some things. I think that we all knew that cohesively it was going to take a little bit for them to come together. I think we're starting to see that now. I think what people don't realize, and if you know football, you realize this, that there's a lot of new faces on the Steelers, and you could build that chemistry, that bond, that cohesiveness in training camp, but it matters when you're really on the field playing meaningful football. And I think that now that's kind of where the Steelers are at. They're starting to come together. I would honestly say someone who I was critical of, who really these past couple weeks have really stuck out to me was Broderick Jones. I think he's finally starting to click. I think he kind of had no choice because I think he knew his job was on the line, but it's great to see him. And I'll throw it to you after this. I think as long as they continue to protect Aaron Rodgers and don't, let him get hit. Obviously, he's 41 years old and, his bone density isn't what it was when he was 25. I think that, this Steeler team, I'm not saying that they're a Super Bowl contender, but right now, who is a Super Bowl contender in the AFC? I mean, you never want to count out the Chiefs and, you have the Chargers and will the Ravens figure it out. But overall, I mean, this is, you could use our code 6sports and put in your Super Bowl bet, but I wouldn't rule the Steelers out. I'm not calling them a Super Bowl contender, but this AFC North is wide open, and the AFC in general is wide open. So I'm going to give the Steelers right now a B minus, a surprising B minus, because I would have settled for like a C minus. But they're definitely playing a lot better, and I'm anxious to see where this season leads us.
Wow, we got personal trainer Jordan York over there throwing out terms like bone density. You got to love that. To your first point, you could argue that 3 of the Steelers' 5 best players are newcomers. I think before the season, if you were to rank, just players overall, take out the position, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward would probably have been 1 and 2. But now if you ranked them, I think you got to throw Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, and DK Metcalf in that mix. So they didn't just add like these consolation prizes. They added 3 absolute stars. And yeah, it's taking some time for them. I'm happy with what they did against Cleveland, because going into this game, I think me and you and plenty of others expected knockdown, drag them out, classic Steelers, keep them in the game. Type football, but they really kicked their ass. Browns got nothing going offensively. Rodgers picked it up in the second half. Steelers probably could have put 30 on them if they actually wanted to against a top 5 NFL defense. I think that's fair to say, as bad as their offense is. The Browns, I'm speaking of there. So that's important. And now we look at Cincinnati on a short week, which is a sneaky game to me. It could be a classic trap game. I want to throw a stat at you, which is almost hard to believe. Steelers are 2-9 on the road on Thursday Night Football since Mike Tomlin became their head coach in 2007. And they've lost their last 4 games on the road on Thursday Night Football too. Now, I know this is the Bengals, and they're beaten up, and they have, a guy who should be in a retirement home as well at quarterback. But they lost. Remember last year they lost to the Browns on the road on Thursday night, Jameis Winston. So, the first point, I want to applaud them for what they did against the Browns. But I think to a large degree, that all cancels out and is neutralized if they go lose to the Bengals in 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, at any level of sports, you're not going to win every game. But this is I don't want to, call it a must win. But if the Steelers can pull this out, it's going to, like I said, it's going to put a nail in the coffin essentially for the Bengals. I think the nail's already pretty much ready to be put in there. But
it's a must win for the Bengals. It's definitely not a must win for the Steelers.
I do, but I just feel like football is such a momentum. And I just feel like these AFC North games, like to get, a win, back-to-back AFC North wins, especially because we have to remember the Steelers bye has already happened. So, it's the gauntlet. This is it. Then you play Green Bay and we start playing these, if the Ravens get healthy, they could have Lamar, although he never plays against the Steelers. But yeah, it's definitely a must win for the Bengals. But I want to say it's not a must win for the Steelers, but I said this is a very important game to determine, the AFC North. It's funny. You said it in the beginning. You wouldn't imagine they'd call you crazy. Hence, this is the Steeler Crazy podcast. That if Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, it's 2025 and this is Thursday Night Football matchup. But I think it's even more crazy. I was listening to, I forget who's on in the morning when I'm driving. It's like super early anyways, somewhere in New York. And they were saying the caller called in and he was saying, well, who's your pick in the AFC right now? And like everyone was just baffled because I keep going back to that. Like, who would you say? Like, obviously everyone's going to say the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are, I think, 3-3. Like, yeah, they're starting to show some signs, but I just feel like at this point, the Bills, you never know what they're going to get. I mean, I would still probably say they're the front runner, but overall, who would you say? I mean, I don't want to say and be a homer and say the Steelers, but I mean, right now in the AFC, I think the Steelers are a top 3 team.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. It's definitely more wide open than it has been. If you put a gun to my head, I would still take the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, don't bet against Patrick.
Yeah, it's Patrick. They're starting to come around to beat the Lions. Of course, we saw them beat the Ravens with Lamar when Lamar was healthy. But the Bills, yeah, they do look like a mess. Their defense sucks. They didn't give Josh Allen any weapons. That was a bit of a surprising loss against the Falcons. The Chargers lead their division at 4-2, the Chiefs division, but they should have lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert had a Houdini act to go and win that game. And I'll finish it with this. I don't believe in the Colts just yet. I really don't. Yeah, they're 5-1. They're playing really good ball with Daniel Jones and have a well-balanced offense and defense, but I need to see it for 4 or 5 more games before I would say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are they a playoff team? Yeah, I think they're a playoff team, but I'm not going to put.
But they're not like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not like one of these teams where I'm like, oh gosh, I'm scared to play them. Like, I don't like you see it even with the Eagles. Like, obviously, like NFC. It's crazy to me because this is like the first year in a while where I just feel like it's a coin flip.
The last few years are all going into the offseason. We just talked about, the Steelers, probably going to still be around that 10-7 mark, make the playoffs, and then lose by 50 again to a team like Buffalo or Kansas City or Baltimore like they did last year. But you're right. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like it would be a really competitive game in the playoffs this year against those teams.
Yeah. Hey, so we're going to jump right back into the Steelers talk, but I want to give a great shout out to our partnership with Huel. Shane, if you want to bring that up, try Huel with 15% off new customers today using code 6Steelers. Go to the link there. Fuel your best performance with Huel today. This is a meal replacement. It has everything you need. 400 calories, 17 grams of fat. You got the 30 grams of carbohydrates, only 6 grams of total sugar, and you're getting 35 grams of protein. You know how much I love protein. These have been a game changer for me recently when I'm out on the go. It has those slow carbs that kind of curb your appetite. So make sure you use our code, whether you're just hitting the gym or just trying to give your digestive system a reset, but still get all those macronutrients. Huel is the way to go. Tell them that the Sick Podcast Steeler Crazy sent you and use our code 6Steelers.
I'm going to have
to start back up.
I think I'm going to cut the grass soon here. And anytime I cut the grass, get a sweat outside, yard work or anything like that. So,
well, I will say something about those is a lot of, I've tried some other ones and I'm not being biased, but the thing with these, it actually curbs your appetite because a lot of these, it's like, oh, I'm just drinking liquid, but it has those slow carbs and you really fill in 27 vitamins, 7 grams of fiber. So clean you out, 35 grams of protein, which is pretty damn good because most regular protein shakes have about 20 to 25. So for it being a whole meal replacement, definitely the right stuff. So make sure you use our code. But hey, just a few more things we want to touch on, and then we're going to get ready for Thursday night football here. Obviously, I'm going to have to TiVo it. That's a little bit past my bedtime, so I'm not going to check my phone. I wake up in the morning and watch a condensed game and give my takes. But maybe I'll wake up. You never know.
Never know if you have kids.
But yeah. But I mean, I'm just excited in general. I'm kind of like not trying to get too happy, get too low because I've seen it all before. I think I text you. I think it was the Ireland game that I texted you. Number one, a 9:30 start and then having that slate of football at 1 p.m. the rest of the day. I don't think I left my couch the entire day. It was like the best day ever. I'm like, can we play in Ireland or at least play at 9:30 every Sunday? Anyways, more of what I'm saying is that the Steelers are starting to figure it out. The biggest thing, will it continue? We're going to have to wait and see. But I know I said this like at the beginning, my optimism has went from like a -1 to like a 8, like from OTAs to now. And I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest Aaron Rodgers guy coming in. I will say the guy still got it. His football IQ is absolutely insane. That's what I say. If this offensive line could start to click, our guy Troy as well, shout out to him, been playing well, then anything is possible. I'm not ruling out. Now, does this the long-term thing at quarterback? Absolutely not. But the draft is coming. Probably not Drew Allard at this point. I'll roll that out. We could take that out of there. Best of luck. But stay as far away from the Steelers as you can. But what I'll say, and then I'll throw it back over to you, Mike, I would not be surprised if Aaron Rodgers comes back for another year with the Steelers, barring any injuries, obviously. And, a 50-50 shot to make a Super Bowl run. Looks like you should use our code 6sports there.
That would help it. And if the 50% part of that is winning the Super Bowl, I don't think he would come back. I think he'd go out on top. If the 50%.
Yeah, but I'm saying, say they win a playoff game and they're going to run it back with the same team. He's healthy. He's having fun playing football. Again, it's just the only thing that I really have against Aaron Rodgers is that it doesn't solve the long-term issue at quarterback since Big Ben. And you need that.
Hindsight is always 20/20. I'll admit it as well. I was a Justin Fields guy, and he looks absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, but part of it is because he's playing for the Jets.
The Jets are absolutely terrible. I juggle with who do you think, honestly, the Browns or the Jets are a worse organization?
Probably.
It's close. It's close.
Man, it's both in just the absolute dumpster. Probably the Jets, because the Browns at least made the playoffs more recently than them and won a playoff.
The Browns at least have like a good defense. I mean, I'll give them that, and they at least like play with a little bit of heart. The Jets are just like
Jets haven't made a playoff. The playoffs or won a playoff game. I think we're going back to 2008 when the Steelers won the Super Bowl, or when the Steelers lost the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, to the Packers.
Yeah.
Last time, been 17 years. The Browns at least won 6 years ago in Pittsburgh, albeit it was
and then got rid of the quarterback that they could have kept. One of them.
Sad, but yeah, I mean, I liked Fields, and but right now I'm really liking Rodgers. All of the things that were said about him coming into the season, bad teammate, distraction, only cares about himself. At least through 6 weeks, have not been the case whatsoever. Now, if they were 1-4, would that be a little different? Yeah, potentially. But it's a good thing that we don't have to, speculate or guess in regard to that. So, what is your prediction for the game Thursday night?
I'm going to say Thursday. I think it's going to be pretty close. I think this is always like a safe one, but I'm going to say the Bengals will score 2 touchdowns, 14, Steelers 20. Actually, give me the Steelers. I feel like there's always at least 2 Chris Boswell field goals. So I'm going to say final score 23-14 Steelers. I think the defense shows up in a big way. I think the Steelers are riding the hot hand right now, and Flacco, obviously he was, decent, but at the end of the day, I just think the Steelers are a better team overall. But
close to where I am.
But like I said, I will say that I hate saying this, but it's so true. This is like the trap game. Like even games like when we play the Dolphins, I know I picked and everyone's like, I'm like, trust me. I'm like, you don't understand. Most NFL teams are always good for those 1 or 2 games where it's like a head scratcher. I mean, it happens in college football too. You're like, like Ball State beat Michigan or something. You're like, how the heck did that happen? Then the next week they're beating, whoever. So,
or Northwestern or UCLA beats Penn State before.
Dude, I watched both of those games. I mean, it's just, no comment. I think everything. That's pretty much.
Yeah, my scores around where you're at. I had 24-17 in my head, which is a win, and they covered the spread, which I had against the Browns as well. I think I had 20-13 there. Mike Tomlin is afraid of Joe Flacco, though. I'll tell you that much.
I think that everyone witnessed him on the Ravens eat us alive so many times, and
Steelers against the Colts last year too. So Tomlin,
his pressers has been funny. I don't know if you've seen that. He's like, I don't know why they signed him, and then he told all the reporters, which I kind of feel for him. I know that they're doing their job, but it's funny. He's like, you guys just annoy me. Because, that's their job in their defense is to ask the tough questions. But I'm sure it gets monotonous, over and over again. So
think he didn't get much sleep earlier press conference. He always does.
Yeah. Quick turnaround.
He had to do a ton Monday, so we'll see. He definitely does not love facing Joe Flacco. I'm sure that was Jake Browning. He sleeps a little better than he did, but Joe Flacco has beat them before, beat them last year, and he actually played pretty well somehow on 3 days on the team against the Packers last week in a loss. So I won't be surprised one bit if they lose. I won't be surprised, but
me neither.
They need it, and continue to prove that they are for real.
Yeah, and I will say this because I think this is a perfect title for this. Steelers are top 3 in the AFC right now, and I say that, and you can't tell me what right now. I mean, I'm not afraid of the Chargers. I would say Bills, Chiefs, Steelers. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't put the Colts there yet. I agree.
No, I mean they haven't. To me, I don't know. They're good. Don't get me wrong. And I think that Daniel Jones is playing well because he has an offensive line. He had no offensive line in New York. I think Saquon Barkley came out and said that. He was like, I knew Danny Dimes was great. He just had no protection. I mean, you got to understand something. That it's not a glamorous position. We have Troy on all the time, and it's such a vital point of you could have a mediocre quarterback. We use this analogy all the time, but look at like Trent Dilford, for example. It's not like he was like Joe Namath, you know.
Themselves into picking the Colts over the Bills or Chiefs, but if I ask them, say, okay, Steelers have to go on the road to win a playoff game in the AFC, who do you want to play? You want to play the Chiefs? Do you want to play the Bills? Or do you want to play the Colts? I think any rational mind, at least right now, would pick the Colts, even though I know the Bills are struggling. That's not even close for me, but that could change.
Yeah. Hey, well, we appreciate you guys riding with us all season. We're going to be bringing on some great guests, as well as Troy is going to be joining us in the upcoming weeks as well. Make sure you use our code over at DraftKings. Shout out to Huel. I'm going to go drink this now and get my workout in, and we're hoping for a win this Thursday in Cincinnati. Until next time, J York Football, Mic'd Up Sports 1. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.